What's going on, guys? I want to talk a little bit today about fire making, more specifically using different mediums for flint and steel. Now, the term flint and steel usually means a piece of flint and some type of steel. Okay, this is a specific Viking style striking steel. Basically, it's just a carbon steel. It's a little square piece that was bent by a blacksmith. It has little ornate ends here, which is kind of cool looking, but it's totally unnecessary. And what this allows you to do is put it on your 3 fingers like this, and it makes it very easy for striking purposes. If you don't have something like this, you can obtain these very cheap, anywhere from $5 to $10 all over the internet. If I can find some, I'll provide a link in the description box. But you don't necessarily need something like this. What's even more versatile than this, even though this is specifically made for this purpose, obviously using a carbon steel blade, because first off, you have a blade. And the secondary purpose could be to use that spine for striking different types of mediums to get sparks, to start fires. My biggest recommended suggestion, if you don't have something like this and you want to maybe get a knife that's capable of striking, and creating sparks, you can't go wrong with a Mora. Frost Mora of Sweden. You have to make sure you get a carbon steel model. They do offer stainless steels as well. You can't go wrong with that. Cheap knife, you're going to spend 10 bucks maybe. I mean, in the United States. If you're elsewhere, who knows? Maybe if you're from Sweden, maybe they're cheaper there, I would imagine. But anyway, what I want to talk or focus more on in this video is using different mediums. People ask me all the time, what kind of rocks work for striking with something like this. Obviously, the most effective is going to be a piece of flint. Okay, flint is very hard. It also breaks off in shards that have sharp edges. What we're really looking for here is a nice, thin, sharp edge, okay? Because what we're doing is basically we're holding this rock steady, all right, and we're coming in and striking on an angle. And what's happening with the actual spark is, and I've talked about this in past videos before, is the harder material, the harder stone, is scraping off tiny little pieces of this carbon steel, and the friction from striking down obviously heats them up to its burning point, and that's what a spark is, right? So that's the whole purpose here, is to come in with a sharp edge and scrape off some of those little tiny particles of metal. Okay, that's how we get our spark, and obviously with the addition of having maybe a piece of char cloth or other tinder, you can get a fire going. It's a very cool novelty type thing to do. I think anyone can do this. You could be 7 years old to 90 years old. You can get a hang of this, and starting a fire this way is very fulfilling. It's a very cool, primitive thing. I think all men need to experience that once in their life. It's just fun. But people mainly were asking, what works besides flint? And there's tons of stuff. Chert, and obviously there's many varieties of flint. I believe this is the English flint. Obsidian works. I would recommend, a lot of people have these out there, especially young viewers. If you're a teenager and you went on some kind of field trip at school, you went to that gift shop, and what does every gift shop have besides dehydrated ice cream and bead necklaces and crap like that? Arrowheads. You get arrowheads everywhere. All kinds of museums and stuff sell arrowheads really cheap. You can probably find these on eBay in bulk. These will also work. Keep in mind, however, is that with arrowheads, something like this, you have a nice sharper edge. This will generate sparks, but it'll also chip out a little easier. Okay, so if you're doing this, I highly recommend wearing some kind of eye protection just in case it chips out. It will deform this, so if you have a sentimental attachment to your arrowhead, get a different one. But this will work just the same as a nice sharp piece of flint. Now maybe I can slow down some of those hits. You can see that the sparks, it's not quite as sharp because I've been using this one a lot as something like this. You see there's a very acute angle here. So it's a little more impressive looking. You see, obviously, but it does work. Works just as well. Other things, quartz, okay? These are good examples of quartz. I actually got these down when I was in Georgia, when I was doing the Chop Fest for CRKT. Quartz is very easily recognizable. It's kind of see-through. I mean, as kids, we pick these rocks up. We think they're cool looking, and that's awesome. It's a very hard mineral, so it will be able to create sparks. The problem, however, with these specifically is that, and a lot of quartz, is that it's rounded, especially these because it was on the shore of the water there. So it's rounded because it's basically like a river stone. You don't want round rocks. You really want something with an edge. If I were to break these open, you might get a better edge on there. But even with something like this, let's see if we can get a spark for you. And it's hard because, especially with this, you don't want to miss and hit your knuckles. It hurts quite a bit. See one kind of stuck there on the edge? You're not going to have as much success, especially with a rounder rock. But just wanted to show it does work. There we go, we got a little sparks that time. Definitely more difficult, not only being round, but also quartz in general. It'll generate sparks, but it's not as good as flint or obsidian or something else. Random rocks, okay? This was a rock I picked up in, I want to say North Dakota. When I was on my trip with my grandfather, it was just an interesting looking rock, had all little bits of stuff in it. This does also throw sparks. There's a lot of rough edges. You want kind of shelves where you can come in on an angle and it's kind of a sharp edge. A little bit hard to see there, maybe try a different spot. But I know this does also throw some sparks. There's one. Definitely more difficult. It's harder to hold. Like I said, you don't have as good of an edge on here. So you really just need to get lucky with something like this for that spark to catch a little piece of char cloth or something in there to kind of get that going. Much lower success rate with just random rocks. But it proves that you can basically pick up almost anything out in the woods or wherever you happen to live. My biggest suggestion, obviously, is going to geology sites and learning about rocks and all their attributes and stuff and what will work where you live. Because everyone watching this video, I mean, it's very diverse. It's all around the world. So what I have in my area, my neck of the woods, quite literally, could be completely different from what you have. A lot of people have flint all over the place. I don't. This is very rare just to pick up off the ground. It's in the ground where I live, but just harder to find. So for me, quartz I can pick up anywhere, but it's much harder to use to get a spark and successfully get a fire going. So anyway, my biggest suggestion, especially for the young viewers, if you want to get into fire making stuff with your parents or guardians, your best bet is getting something like this. Just wear eye protection because it can chip out easily. The reason they use obsidian and stuff like that for the arrowheads is because of the fact you can nap it pretty easily. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thank you very much for watching. And I love to hear some comments and suggestions and questions down below. Everyone watching will help it just as much as I will. So a lot of times I don't get to read all the comments, especially messages. I'm not even going to get into it. Whole headache there. But if you have a comment and I can't get to it, I'm sure someone will for me. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take care.